Okay. So screen visible. All well. I'm also audible, I think. Bholi. Bholi is what? Do you know the word Bholi? Hindi mein what we say? Bholi, bhola, bhala, simple. No, whom we call Bholi. Bhola hai, bhala hai. The one who is actually very simple. Yes. As the name says, this the character, the central character of the
Gentle.
story. Yeah, gentle, sweet, innocent. Nowadays, you can also call them buddhu. Bola matlab thoda sa buddhu. Anyway, so this is the requirement of era. ये भी time में. Otherwise, boli means those who are very simple. So the entire chapter is about that boli, the one who is very boli. And it is actually, I'm telling you, it's a very, very simple story. Written also in a very simple manner. Story is written by K.A. Abbas. And obviously, the entire story revolves around a girl. Now, what is so special about this girl? Everyone will have this query in their mind. Now, see what is written over here, that from her very childhood, Boli was neglected at home. Why did her teacher take a special interest in her? Did Bholi measures up to her teacher's expectations? You will see a lot of things in this story. Although this story, as I told you, as the name reflects, as the title reflects, this story is Bhola, simple, like her character, the main character, the protagonist of the story. Obviously, the entire story will be revolving around her. But what was the purpose of writing this story? You know, sometimes even the simple story can bring a big transformation in your personality. So, this story is also going to convey a great message to the society. Now, few things you will find it out in this story, that how girls are ill treated in our society, okay? How they are deprived of the basic rights, okay? Then you will also see that how a girl is measured on the basis of her physical appearance. No, she has to be pretty. That is very important, which is not required because God has made us. So I think, according to me, physical appearance is not required if you are a nice human being, if you are educated, if you have other qualities. And then finally, when you will come to the end of the story, you will see the stigma of Indian society. And what is that? Dowry system. That dowry that is prevailing. And you know, if that's why I always say, I'm always I feel that a girl has to have that kind of financial independence. So thank God things have changed nowadays. I'm genuinely happy that parents are equally treating their female child. Although we have different cases in our society, but thank God, girls sitting in my class right now, they might be knowing. Okay, Navneet, custard the dragon. Fine, I will complete it. Let me finish this since I started. Okay, don't worry, I will complete that poem. So let's finish this chapter. We have enough time, don't worry. So basically, what happened? Why this girl? Why she has to, be so strong? So thank God, I'm telling you, I was genuinely thanking from the bottom of my heart to all the parents who are equally treating their girls, sending them to school, asking them to take a job, and then they are getting this kind of treatment, the equal treatment in the society. Now, girls are not just on the basis of their physical appearance. Doesn't matter how she looks. What matters? How she acts, whether she can have this education or not. So, my dear girls, specifically this message is for girls, that please always take a job, because if you really want to transform the world, change the world, your financial independence will help to take you or to bring awareness in the society, and it will also help you to be strong. So this story is all about that. When you will go through this story, you will find out different things. So when the writer wrote this story, definitely so many things was there in his mind. So through the character of this girl Bholi, he is going to portray all the evils of society. But then you will also see the role of teacher. Yes, the best part of this story is also that how the teacher encourages Bholi and helps her to become a learned and confident girl. The role of teacher is always very important. Teacher plays a vital role in the transformation, the characters. And then it gives her a strength, how she changes herself. So finally, you will see that how this girl will rise against the social inequality, social injustice, and many more things you will see in this story. So let's begin the story, and simultaneously we will be discussing what the writer wants to say. Okay? Now, as the name says, Bholi, the simpleton, simple, a simple girl. Let's see what happens. Why is Bholi's father worried about her? Generally, parents are specifically in our rural background, in our society, rural society, where they are not sending their children for equal education. Father has only one concern, how to marry their girl child. That's all. And that is why girls are such a burden for them, or for what unusual reason is Boli sent to school. But one very good thing happened. Let's see. Okay, sometimes what happens that even if things are negative, but some good thing will definitely happen. Let's see what happened in her life. Okay, her name was Sulekha, but since her childhood, everyone had been calling her Boli, the simpleton. Now she is a normal girl. Father or parents named her Sulekha. Sulekha. Nice, nice girl. But why? Because of maybe because of her simple nature. She was sweet, she was simple. People started calling her Bholi. ये common चीजें हैं. If you find any special characteristic in someone, they will award them, है ना, एक नेमशिप होता है. They will give them that a common name, which is a calling name, you can say, pet name, you can say. So because of her simple nature, she was called by everyone Holi. She was the fourth daughter of Nambardar Rampal. Okay, Nambardar Rampal. And when she was 10 months old, she had fallen off the cot on her head, and perhaps it had damaged some part of her brain. That's why she remained a backward child and came to be known as Bholi the simpleton. Now, basically, what was she was the fourth daughter of Nambardar, landlord. Landlord, they were too, not very rich, but okay. And why Sulekha was called Bholi? Since her childhood, she was being called. You know why? Because not only because of her simple nature, but because she was also a slow learner. Why it happened? All this happened because she had fallen on her head from a narrow bed where she was when she was only 10 months old. Only 10-month old she was. And you know, that falling down from the cot, she was a tender, 10 months old child. They are very, tender. And this had damaged some part of her brain, making her a slow learner. Now, actually, they used to feel that perhaps because of this damage, when she fell down, it has damaged some part of her brain, and that's why she was not as, you can say, sharp as her other siblings. Okay, and from thereafter, she was known as simpleton Boli. Everyone started calling her Boli. Bola bhala, matlab Boli. At the birth, the child was very fair and pretty when she got. Now, this is also again a parameter by which the entire world is going to judge you. Your physical appearance, your complexion. Although I'm telling you, this is actually God's gift. If someone is pretty, fine, it's okay. But doesn't matter. Let's not talk about the outer appearance of someone. One can be pretty from inside also, intelligent also. But no, this world doesn't care for a person who is pretty from within. People are only looking at your outer appearance. So what happened with her? See, at birth, the child was very fair and pretty. Everyone was happy, even though she was the fourth daughter. But when she was 2 years old, she had an attack of smallpox. In those days, vaccination, even though we have a vaccination, thank God this kind of problem is not existing in our society nowadays. We have the vaccination facility, but it was a rural area. So when she was 2 years old, she had an attack of a smallpox, chickenpox. Only the eyes were saved, but the entire body was permanently disfigured by deep black pock marks. Oh. Now see how the things was so difficult in her life. First of all, she was the fourth daughter. Obviously, nobody was waiting for her. Unexpected girl she was in the family. Second, when she was 10 months old, she fell from a cot and some part of her brain was damaged. And now, see what happened. When she was 2 years old, she got chicken pox, a smallpox, and except her eyes, her entire body had the deep black pock marks. Little Sulekha could not speak till she was 5. And this, now next problem. Little Sulekha or Bholi, because she was not getting the proper treatment in the family. Why the child, why some children are slow learner? They don't speak well. Not because of all the time, because of their physical disabilities. Sometimes because people are not giving her proper attention. Okay, so as you all have seen that she is being neglected throughout. And so because that could be also a reason. And when at last she learned to speak, she stammered. Stammering, stuttering, haklana. Now this was again a problem. First of all, little Sulekha was not able to speak. Even if she started speaking, she was stammering. And stammering is actually because of the lack of confidence she was having in the family. The other children often made fun of her and mimicked her. Now, this is the society. That other children, even her siblings, they were making fun of her, mimicking her. As a result, she talked very little. Now, since people are making fun of her, now she was feeling so shy, so, disheartened, that she was speaking very little. So see, all the tragedies happened in her life in a very early stage of her life. First of all, she was a girl child, not wanted. Secondly, she fell from the cot and maybe perhaps they felt that has not been medically proven, okay? But they feel that she is a slow learner because of that she had some part of her brain has been damaged. Then when she was 2, she got chicken pox. So physically, she was not so pretty. And then thereafter, what happened? That she was not able to speak. When she started speaking, she was stammering. So all of this actually made her a low confident girl in the family. Ramlal had 7 children, 3 sons and 4 daughters. And the youngest of them was Bholi. In those days, people used to have a lot of children. Thank God they have now changed their mindset, even in the rural areas, but so pathetic it is that population is still a great problem in India. But in those days, it was very common, specifically in rural areas, having more than 5, 6 children. So Ramlal too had 7 children, 3 sons and 4 daughters, and she was the youngest. It was a prosperous farmer's household, and there was plenty to eat and drink. As I told you that he was Nambardar, landlord. So family was prosperous. This was not so, poor family, poverty stricken. No, no, no. And they have a lot of money, plenty, not enough, not excessive, but plenty to eat and drink. All the children except Bholi were healthy and strong. And that is why the entire family, other 6 siblings of Bholi, they were healthy and strong because they had, plenty of food and everything. The sons had been sent to the city to study in schools and later in colleges. Now see, this is the gender discrimination. in most of the families, rural families, still to nowadays also we are facing. And what was the difference is that sons, they are treated nicely in the families. They are being given a privilege to go to schools and thereafter in colleges. So Bholi's brothers also, all three brothers, they went to city for study and thereafter they were sent to colleges. Of the daughters, Radha, the eldest, had already been married. And you know, four daughters. And only one concern these families are having, how to get married. See, they are not sending their daughters to school. They're not giving the privilege of education. Nowadays, things have changed, but still, I think in some of the areas of Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Haryana, you will see that still some families, maybe they are getting the elementary education, but they are not sending their girls for higher education. Last year, you remember the story of Santosh Yadav, the mountaineer, how she fought and how she came to Delhi and thereafter to Maharani College, and there she saw. So basically, girl has to fight in the family, but all the girls, they did not have the guts to fight. They are not so confident unless some circumstances happens with them. So the only concern is to how to get married. And that is why Radha, the eldest, she was already married. The second daughter, Mangala's marriage, had also been settled. And when that was done, Ramlal would think of third, Champa. Now, so basically one girl, Radha, is already married, the eldest one. The second, Mangala's marriage was also fixed. And the third was, her number was going to come. So now after Mangala's marriage, Ramlal has to think about Champa, the third daughter. He had no problem because he was well off and these girls were also good looking and healthy girls. So it was not difficult to find bridegrooms for them. Since Ramlal was well off, because dowry was prevailing in the society, he has to pay hefty amount, good amount of dowry in order to get married their girls. See, again, this is a tragedy. You're giving your girls also and money also. So Ramlal has no problem. He was very much, relaxed because three of his daughters, they were good looking, they were healthy, and he had money also. So finding bridegrooms from them was not a problematic thing. But Ramlal was worried about Bholi. She had neither good looks nor intelligence. It's too early to judge her. He was only worried for whom? Bholi, because already his sons were taking education in colleges and schools. Three daughters, their marriage had been fixed. He had money and they were good looking also. But only concern was what? Bholi. Because according to Ramlal, she is neither beautiful nor intelligent. Bholi was 7 years old when Mangala was married. Now, second daughter was also married. First was married, second was married. The same year, a primary school for girls was opened in their village. But there was a silver lining always in black cloud. God is there. Whom no one is going to help, God will help him or her. And then something happened. What happened? See, same year when second daughter of Ramlal was married, the school, I'm telling you, it's an old story. Now we have primary schools in all the villages. Thank God. Government is doing a great job. Okay. So the same year, it was a primary school for girls specifically because people are having this gender, mentality. They will not send their children, their girls to, co-ed. So that was the also thing. Anyway, one girls' school was opened. The Tehsildar Sahib came to perform its opening ceremony. Tehsildar, some important personality, Tehsildar. He came to perform the opening ceremony. School was going to be opened. Now he said to Ramlal, As a revenue official, you are the representative of the government in the village. And so you must set an example to the villagers. You must send your daughters to school. Now, definitely, only opening in school is not enough. If you will read the stories, you will see that it was a real, struggle, regular, constant struggle, because parents, their mindset was totally different. They did not want their daughters to go to school. Elementary education was given to them. Only what was that? Akshar Gyan, कहते थे उस जमाने में. Elementary education. That was the only concern. And that also at home. Someone was coming and teaching them. So sending their daughters to school was actually a big revolution. So when Tehsildar came to perform the opening ceremony, he suggested that since you are the revenue official, or maybe you are representative of the government, he was in that, of your village, you must set an example to the villagers. You must send your daughters because someone has to set an example. That was very important. Okay, otherwise, what will happen? People will, if you are not going to set the example, how can you compel people to send their daughters to school? So the district collector, the Tehsildar Sahib, Tehsildar, I think they are known as district collector, he asked Ramlal to send his daughters to school. And because as he was the revenue official, so if he will, he is a representative of government, and government, since government has opened the school, so you have to do some work in order to bring awareness in the society as well as to set an example. So he said that you please send your daughters first of all to school. In this manner, what will happen? You will not only send your daughter, they will get education. Also, you will set an example for the villagers. And this would lead to education of girls in the village. Obviously, people will get, and then people will see that, yeah, this man he is sending, so I will also. So this was the important step. That night, when Ramlal consulted his wife, she cried, "Are you crazy? If girls go to school, who will marry them?" See the mindset. Our India has genuinely transformed, and I feel so proud now because, yeah, this was the story. This was the mindset of rural areas. Abhishek, don't do anything. This was the mindset. So he said that when, and even girls, female were against the girls of education of girls, females. So when he consulted his wife that I want to send one of my daughters because Tehsildar district collector also told me to do this, his wife cried, "Are you crazy? Have you gone mad? If girls will go to school, who will marry them?" See the mindset that if girls will be educated, no one is going to marry them. Nowadays, things have changed. If girls will not be educated, then no one is going to marry them. Fine, girls. So listen this. But Ramlal had not the courage to disobey the Tehsildar. But one thing was there, that he was scared of Tehsildar, district collector. He has no courage to disobey. Since Tehsildar Sahib has said, send your daughter to school, he cannot disobey. At last, his wife said, so they had a discussion. Maybe wife argued, husband also said, no, it's not possible. I have to send someone. And something happened very good for our Bholi. At last, wife said, I will tell you what to do. Okay, I have one idea. Good idea. Send Bholi to school. As it is, there is little chance of her getting married with her ugly face and lack of sense. Let the teachers at school worry about her. Wow. इसी को कहते हैं चलो blessing in disguise. Do you know this idiomatic phrases? Blessing in disguise. So the mother said, okay, fine, I will not allow my third daughter Champa to go to school because then no one will marry her. Then I have an idea. You can keep the words of Tehsildar also, and we will also be able to get rid of Bholi. Because see, this was the mother. Mother was saying that I know because of her, not so good looks, or you can say mother also felt ugly face, no one will ever marry her, Bholi. So it is better that you keep the words of Tehsildar also, and Bholi will, maybe teachers will worry about her. Maybe they will be able to transform her, change her. So I think it is good that since there is a very little chance of her getting married because of her ugly face, I think send Bholi to school. And your Tehsildar Sahab will be also happy. Let the teachers at the school worry about her. So we have been, we have been worrying about her and we have not been able to change her. She's a slow learner. She's not even good looking. She looks like malnutrited. So it is better send her to school. Let the teacher worry about her. Why not? Teachers are, they can bring reformation in life of people. Okay? Teachers are so important. You also know the value of teachers, no? Now, see, the questions are here. Does Bholi enjoy her first day at school? Does she find her teacher different from the people at home? Let's see, find out. Okay, the next day, Ramlal caught Bholi by hand and said, "Come with me, I will take you to school." Bholi was frightened. So, since Bholi never got so much importance in the family that father will say something to her, the next day, Ramlal caught Bholi and said, "Yeah, I will take you to school." Why Bholi was frightened? Because Bholi has never been treated so nicely. See, she was frightened first of all because school is a new place for her. And she was always thinking why she was there. Since my family has always ill treated me, so definitely they are going to do something very scary with me. She was actually frightened. So she did not know what a school was like. She had never been to a school. No one has ever been because this was the first primary school for girls in the entire vicinity. So she was really scared. She remembered, now see how she will think, how a few days ago their old cow, Lakshmi, had been turned out of the house and sold. Now, what feeling came to her mind? She thought, oh, perhaps my father is going to sell me as he sold the old cow Lakshmi. See, why she will not think in this manner? Maybe it's very negative thought. But the way she has always been treated in her family, always been neglected just because of her, simple looks or maybe simple nature. So she also had the same feeling that very day. She thought, oh God, what these people are going to do with me? They are going to, or maybe they are planning to sell me. No, 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 no. She shouted in terror. She was stammering, and specifically, stammer is why. Why people stammer, it is not always the physical disability, it is also the lack of confidence, lack of love, compassion. And so she started stammering. No, 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 no. She shouted in terror and pulled her hand away from her father's grip and ran away. No, no, father, I don't want to go to school. She was not knowing what is the school, how the school will bring a change in her life, why education is so important. Who the hell will tell all these things to her? Okay. What's the matter with you, you fool? Shouted Ramlal. I'm only taking you to school. Then the father gets angry. Why you are behaving like a foolish girl? I'm not going to do anything. I'm only taking you to school. And then he told his wife, let her wear some decent clothes today, or else what will the teachers and the other schoolgirls think of us when they see her? Thank God. Thank God, at least she is going to get some good clothes, some clean clothes for herself. Because that also you will see. So father said, come on, go and give her some decent clothes. And that also not because he was concerned for Bholi. He was concerned for the others. That if other people will look at her, that how she has been ill-treated in her family, they will think ill of Ramlal and the family. So he said to his wife, come on, give her some decent clothes. And so that the school girls or the other villagers will not think bad for us. Now, new clothes had never been made for Bholi. Why? Why? I told you that she has been continuously neglected in her family. Why, although generally those who are the youngest one in the family, they're pampered, but because of her looks, or maybe because of her lack of confidence, because of her stammering nature, whatever was the reason, or maybe because of being a girl, fourth daughter in the family, she has been badly treated. And for the first time, she was going to get clean new clothes for herself. Okay, children, time is getting over. So I think the story is clear. If you have any query, any question, we may discuss it now.